Can we agree that if you took President Xi Jinping and turned him upside down and shook him, the World Health Organization would fall out of his pocket?
I don't think I can answer that question, sir. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I am Sam. I am in a weird ass mood, so just know that going in. So I don't know about you guys, but I did not actually expect the media or any other like public officials that hadn't sent by now to come back and say, yeah, it's very possible that the virus came from a lab leak. We all knew that they already knew. Like, they're not so stupid that they did not see that reality. They knew. I never thought that a majority of them would come out and actually vocalize the truth.
Neither the natural escape theory nor the natural emergence hypothesis can be ruled out. And as for why the escape hypothesis was given short shrift, he noted this. Because President Trump said the virus had escaped from a Wuhan lab, editors gave the idea little credence. They joined the virologists in regarding lab escape as a dismissible conspiracy theory. During the Trump administration, they had no trouble in rejecting the position of the intelligence services that lab escape could not be ruled out. But when Avril Haines, President Biden's director of national intelligence, said the same thing, she too was largely ignored. This is not to argue that editors should have endorsed the lab escape scenario, merely that they should have explored the possibility fully.
Like, what? Why would you admit that you're a psychopath? Because the only reason people denied it is because they could not be in agreement with Trump. So to come back and say it now, it's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. Bro. Isn't it kind of sad that America is so far gone at this point that the media now, after a year, somewhat reporting the truth is fucking shocking? That is so sad. I made my video last week about Fauci being involved in the Wuhan lab, being resurfaced. I talked about it because I didn't think anyone else would. Not that a lot of people watch my shit, but I've said before, if even a few more people in this world are a little less stupid, I can feel proud. So I didn't think that it would be covered. I thought that it would be just flash in the pan type shit, if even that. But it's blowing up and people are not relenting. It's kind of nice to see Dr. Fauci look so nervous now. He looks so uncomfortable now that he's not having his by all of America media. So a few videos back, I made a whole video about Senator Kennedy, John Kennedy from Louisiana, and his fucking lighthearted, good-natured soul and his amazing expressions that he just serves us, and we don't even say thank you most of the time. He's just that kind. He also grilled Fauci, and I love, even if you don't agree with it, I love that he always tries to be as polite as possible.
A human.
Yes, and excuse me, Doc, for interrupting you, but our time is so...
Yeah, no, I'm...
When you know he thinks the worst of these people, he still tries to at least be polite. And stayed polite the entire time, which I would not have the temperament to do. Could not do that. I would get pissed. I don't like when people lie right to my face. He asked Dr. Fauci straight up, why do you think China wouldn't lie to you? They've made it a fucking known fact that they want to literally dominate the planet by 2024. But you don't think they'd lie to you.
So you don't think the Chinese would lie to you?
Well, when you say the Chinese are a rather broad group. I know the scientists that we've dealt with have been trustworthy.
Mm-hmm. You think all the scientists have told the truth in terms of the origin of the Wuhan virus and not been influenced by the Communist Party of China, do you?
I don't have enough insight into the Communist Party in China to know the interactions between them and the scientists, sir.
Right. And you believe they didn't do gain-of-function research because they told you they didn't?
We've seen the results of the studies that they conducted, and they were not...
Including any private studies?
Excuse me? Including?
Any private studies?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, sir.
Here's what I'm getting at. You gave them money and you said, don't do gain of function research.
Correct.
And they said, we won't.
Correct.
And you have no way of knowing whether they did or not, except you trust them. Is that right?
Well, we generally always trust the grantee to do what they say, and you look at the results.
Have you ever had a grantee lie to you?
I cannot guarantee that a grantee has not lied to us because you never know.
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci didn't have really shit to say. He's gotten really bad at deflecting answers because now he knows people don't trust him and they think he's up to no good because he is. He looks like he's never actually listening to what the people are saying and he's just like in his own head. And then he'll come back with some stupid fucking answer where he either plays dumb
I'm not sure what you're getting at, sir.
or starts it with, thank you so much for asking that question. I appreciate it.
Why are we giving him money in the first place?
Well, that's a very good question, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to
You're
answer
welcome.
it.
If you hear that come out of someone's mouth in this type of situation, you know the rest of what they say is going to be complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. So Biden shut down the investigation into the origins of the coronavirus just to restart it back up.
So on a day that he has nothing to do, and the report comes out that says he just killed the investigation into the lab, he comes out and releases this big statement and says, oh, we are going to investigate this lab theory. And
This guy's our president. Once again, him and Jen Psaki had a completely conflicting idea of what the fuck's going on. Just the day before, she said this.
To follow up on some of the questions about an investigation into the origins of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
You've spoken a lot about the need for an independent investigation. What role does the Biden administration think U.S. scientists or CDC scientists should play in that investigation?
Well, the WHO would be the body that would be overseeing a transparent, independent phase 2 investigation. It would be led by an international body.
So the U.S. wouldn't take a leading role, essentially.
Again, the WHO, which we rejoined when the president took office, is the body that we have been pressing and is the appropriate body for moving this investigation forward.
And the following day, they have to say, wait, no, sorry, like that was wrong again.
President Biden announced he's giving the U.S. intelligence community 90 days to produce a report on the subject, which could have major implications for U.S. relations with China.
It's convenient as fuck that Biden now cares about the coronavirus origins after he used the fucking virus for all it was worth in order to con his way into the presidency. There are people out there alive in this world with jobs and children and like responsibilities that could affect other people like that don't see this for what this is. Terrifying. So despite the fact that now American media is finally talking about the truth a little bit, very late, I still have not heard a single word from any news reporter, any news station, anybody saying, oh, hey, sorry guys that we spread Chinese propaganda for a year, but like here now is like possibly the truth that we have known has been the truth for over a year. Nobody has the balls, nobody has the guts, but someone who has a large following or a few people need to just put it out there more. American media spread Chinese propaganda knowingly and willingly. For what reason? What did they get out of it? Did any of these people ever feel guilty? Did they ever even question it? Or did they just say bye and move along with their day and do what they were told? Kind of doubling as a Rand Paul fan page at this point, but I want to talk about him again because I love that motherfucker. He is one of the only good noodles left, I think, in the country. If Trump doesn't become president, if DeSantis doesn't become president, I would love for Rand Paul to be my president, dude. That's something that needs to happen in my lifetime. Please and thank you. Universe, make it happen. So Rand Paul has just been fucking killing it lately, like killing it. Despite getting literal death threats and actual like violence inflicted on him, he's just fucking on his shit. He stays committed to doing his duty, as more of them should. He's like my dream man, only he's like old and ugly. But like, if he wasn't, him and some other senators filibustered a bill to increase spending on the NIH. He made them look foolish, stupid, dumb, weak, just all around pathetic, but in the way that is necessary, because people are too stupid to acknowledge these things on their own or assume that the government's never up to no good. Like, if you think about it, think about all your failed relationships in your personal life. If you can't trust the people closest to you, people who literally share the same blood as you, what makes you think the government wouldn't pass the first chance they get? I feel like Rand Paul has my back, even though he doesn't know me, never met me, never will meet me. He's always looking out for the American people. Even if you don't agree with him on everything, I think you can see his reasoning and that he has good intentions, at least, even if you don't necessarily agree with the way that he approaches it. There's a good chance you won't agree with him. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. At least that's how I feel. But you know he has good intentions. Last week he was on Fauci's ass, and now he's on the NIH's ass. He pointed out every stupid, insignificant, absurd study done by them and how much it cost them.
A group of us chose to filibuster this bill because we think it wastes money. We think it gives money to one of the most wasteful agencies in government, the National Science Foundation. So the NIH spent $2 million in research to see if using a hot tub can lower stress. Really? Now, the NIH also spent about $1 million to see if they could help people overcome their fear of dentists. Really? NIH spent almost $7 million of cancer research money to create an automatically flushing smart toilet. That's right, $7 million for an automatically flushing toilet. And here's the bonus. The toilet will actually take pictures of your derriere from the inside of the toilet bowl, should you wish to have those for posterity. $3 million to study whether or not humans will eat enough ants to keep the globe from warming. Today are filibustering this bill because somebody's got to point out that the waste and abuse of money goes on. The National Science Foundation, the king of wasteful spending, spent $100,000 to teach social scientists how to apply for grants. So it's not bad enough that we're just, handing out money like it, grows on trees, but then we got to teach people how to get more of the free money. Another cache of money that went to Central American countries trying to teach them how to get more of our money. Really? We're actually teaching foreigners how to apply to get grant money from our government that's $28 trillion in the hole. Spent $48 million helping disconnected Tunisian youth to not feel like, they are a problem to society, to help them cope with modern society. I guarantee $48 million that we don't have, that we have to borrow from China to send to Tunisia, is not a good expenditure of money, probably helped no one, probably enriched some contractor somewhere. Somebody steals some off the top. There's always a little skimming operation. It was once estimated that as much as half to 70% of foreign aid was skimmed off the top. The NIH spent $36 million to research why stress makes hair turn gray. National Science Foundation spent $4.6 million to study the connection between getting drunk and falling down. Now, you'd think that would be obvious. If we got 100 assembled Americans and said, vote on whether or not you should spend $36 million studying why your hair turns gray, not one rational, common sense American would vote for this, and yet this Congress is going to increase the budget of the National Science Foundation by 68%. The National Science Foundation spent $2.5 million to research the effects of daydreaming. I'm not kidding. You can't make this stuff up. The National Science Foundation used $1.5 million to study how to make tomatoes taste better. They spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of time. They wrote up their report, and this is shocking. This is groundbreaking research. They found that if you add sugar to tomatoes, they taste better. You can't make this stuff up.
It's truly absurd, and I don't use that word ever because I feel like it's something a British person uses, right? Like is that a British word? I feel like it should be, or is. But it feels accurate in the situation. I mean, everything he says is just on point, in your face facts that you can't deny, and if you do, you're exposed for being an asshole. He puts people on the spot with his fact-based arguments. Like, so many people in the government, as I'm sure you guys know because you're smart, do not say things that are factual most of the time. You put it into words I've never really thought to think before. That sounded really dumb. I apologize. But that's just how I feel. Words I never thought to think, because you can agree with the concepts, but you're just not able to put it into words. And he was able to put into words what I feel like so many of us feel. If you took a handful, a small, minute chunk of the American people and polled them and said, would you spend money on this and this much money on this? They would all say no to every single thing that he brought up. Rand Paul is just on his shit, and I would love for him to get more credit, get more attention for his brilliance. Let's not forget he's a fucking doctor. I think him, Senator Kennedy, are the only two right now at this moment in time that I can say I think have good intentions. Everyone else is sketchy as shit. They are some of the only people I have heard of that want to give themselves a salary decrease. They want to reduce the amount of money spent on stupid shit every year. Care what the people that they represent would want, and don't want to sell us out to every other country that's possible. So let me know your thoughts below, what you think about the media suddenly recognizing this shit, what you think about Rand Paul. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Hopefully I will have another 420 unboxing type of video up soon. My mail is being held ransom for me. I have hundreds of dollars worth of shit that is just being fucked with by the post office, and but one of my boxes is in there. I got another Daily High Club box, and I was gonna unsubscribe to the goodie box, but then after I unsubscribed, they texted me, which apparently that's a thing now. I've had several companies text me directly. It's oh, okay, but they offered me $15 off of a $30 box, so fuck yeah, I was gonna take it. That's half the price, and I'm gonna get all that shit again, but who wouldn't take that? I'm getting one more of those as well, and so I'll be doing an unboxing on those. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and you guys will be seeing me next time. Bye guys.